I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good now.
Fine.
All right, cool. So, yeah, as I said, part one's just going to be talking about some stuff. We're going to go through it 10, 15 minutes there. Then part two is just going to be we're just going to do some little short scenarios. And then part three, we're going to drag you into about groups of 2 or 3 up into the admin channel. We're going to ask you a couple of questions. It's going to be 10 questions. We want about 7 out of 10 answered correctly. It's just basically what we go over here. So if you listen here, you should be able to answer all the questions pretty good. It's pretty basic stuff. Again, if you know and you're interested in joining, the questions we ask you are vital, so that way the civs stay happy.
Sounds good.
All right, part one, let's go. All right, so we're going to go to the standard operating procedures later. If you don't know me, I'm Jager. I'm one of the head guys up here. So the high-ranking officers in the police force, if you press M and you go to police procedures. And then you also go chain of command. The highest rank is captain. So any of the admins that have been whitelisted cops are captains, okay? Now, the way that the ranking system work is going to change when the new faction system is in place on the weekend. And the way levels are going to work are going to increase as well. So the way you progress is going to be better, and the ranks are going to be more prominent. But at the moment, basically, there's just captain for the admins, and everyone else is a lower rank. Okay. So if you do have any other questions, go speak to the captain on the server, and they'll handle the situation for you. And again, when the new faction system comes out in a week, it'll be when you come up and you can read my name on the top of my head in game now. It'll be on the top of their head, just behind or in front of their names. It'll say Sergeant or Captain Jager and etc. like that. Okay. The ranks will slightly change to police force. I don't know if it's Victorian or New South Wales based, but yeah, that's coming in as well. All right, radio comms. The way radio comms work is pretty simple again. TeamSpeak, you've got East, West, and you've got Kavala Patrol, Air. It's pretty self-explanatory. Air's in air. Kavala Patrols is around the Kavala area. And East and West, if you split the map, obviously you're looking, you press M, split the map, you take East and West basically from the middle of the airfield, which is that main airfield. If you're to the West, you go on the West channel. If you're to the East, you go on the East channel. Stuff like that, okay? Reason we do that is TeamSpeak can get pretty... if you don't have priority speaking on or anything, it can get pretty hot with lots of people talking. And it's good to communicate across teams using the actual in-game group channel. So if you log on as side channel won't work, but group channel will. So again, you know, I expect everyone knows how to swap channels and all that in this game. Go to your group channel, and that's how you cross-communicate between, say, East and West if you need backup or you need to talk and say someone's coming into your area and all that sort of stuff, okay? Now, we try to limit that chat to really high situations like getting ready to the bank's been robbed and everyone needs to get out and get there. Or for other reasons, just simple reasons like East needs backup, it's a salt mine, and then the West guys will respond over that side channel without having to swap team speaks. Are there any questions on radio communications?
Yeah, I have one.
Go ahead.
If there is such thing as a coast guard, like, you know, water police, why is there no water channel?
The Coast Guard isn't in game yet, but it will be coming in place at the moment, and I believe Coast Guard will be civilian. But yeah, I don't know about that, man. The water police, I guess, are just joining East or West, based on the area at the moment. But to be honest, water police, I probably maybe see a guy out there maybe once a week because not a lot of people do turtles at the moment. But that's something we could look into when the Coast Guard and that come out. Cool. Just so everyone knows, we don't really use Roger and out and all that sort of communication. It's just basic sort of stuff. Okay, pretty simple. It's talk like you talk in real life, and you'll understand it pretty easy. All right, moving on next. Policing 101 fines. I'll get Canby to link that in the channel if I can, please.
Yep.
Yep, got it.
So,
got it up.
Yeah, if everyone checks their TeamSpeak channel now, I think it's just posted it. That policing 101 fines. So when you pull over someone and you arrest them and they're on the wanted list or for whatever they've done, and you're unsure of the fine, What you do is you just tell them to stand by, checking your database, and you're going through and just, if you've got a second screen, it's easy. If you don't, just alt tab if you're unsure. And all the fines there should be in place, okay? There's some fines there that aren't on the wanted list. Most of them, those ones aren't. Otherwise, you refer back to the wanted list, okay? But something like a legal weapon, for example, is the cost of the weapon plus 15,000 on top. And then you charge them for obviously any other crime, and then you just keep adding up, and then you can read off that list, and that's always something to refer back to if civilians start jumping down your throat saying, "Oh, it's not this much, you just charged me this." Unless you know what you've charged them for as you read it out to them. So, the procedure of when you go up and arrest someone is obviously tell them before you arrest them. In some cases it's not possible. You just need to arrest them straight away and then chat with them later. That's fine. Just let them know real quick, like, "Oh, I'll deal with you in a sec. Just give me a second." But other than that, let them know that you're going to arrest them. People freak out otherwise if you don't tell them. And then you just start reading out to them, okay, their charges. So you've been charged for vehicle manslaughter. You've also been charged for grand theft auto, and you just list out what there is, and then you can go through and find out the fines.
Can I ask a question, Jacob?
Yes.
With regards to, it's probably more of a suggestion, with the fines, with the ones that say half the price of, say, a weapon or half the price of a vehicle, I think I'd find it useful to have that available somewhere on the forums so I can quickly refer to it rather than trying to remember.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually looking back through it today, and I was going to get all that information. I'll try and get that up ASAP, man, because I'll go back on the Civ and write all the cars down, because it's the original cost of the car without permanent cost. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah. So I'll try and update for you.
Oh yeah, I got a question.
Yep.
When we're giving you the fines, do you have to give them the whole price of the whole price, or do you give them separate fines for the different crimes that they've committed?
No, add them up.
Multiple?
Yep, add them up.
Just make sure they know what they're getting fined for.
Yep.
Yeah, add it all
Yep.
up to them. Then this, and then quote them the price. If they don't pay it, so.
Like, I'm giving you 2,000 for this, 1,000 for that, like that.
Yep, that's it. Yep, and then you just list them off, and then you charge them the fine, so that way they know where it's all coming from. All right, so I think that covers that. Move on to Dispatch Center. So what Dispatch Center is, and it's actually going to be coming out when the new faction system comes out again this weekend, hopefully, is a person basically acts as it was Dispatch Center. So, for example, let's say you get killed in the operation and you can't return there for a period of time, or there's no police calls coming in, and you feel like the police force needs a bit of organisation. What you can do is you can start acting as dispatch. Just say over group chat that you're now logged in as dispatch. Press your map, and you can start coordinating people to tasks just while you wait. So, if you got killed and your teammates are asking what happened, you can act as dispatch and say, dispatch reports that there's 2 armed civilians, 1 officer down. We need these units here and here. You can also direct your units over your map. You can track, if you haven't already been on public slot and that, you can track where your police units are on the map. So you can track them driving, give them directions, turn left, turn right, and act as sort of like a navman for them as well. Basically, that's what dispatch is. And then when you're ready to jump off that, you can just say, jumping off dispatch, someone else can jump on. It's just a person to help out a bit of organisation if you've got not much else to do.
I have a question.
Yep.
What is the correct amount of time that you have to wait after you die if you're a cop? Because on the forums, on the rules on the website, it says 15 minutes, but I've been told 5 minutes numerous times, so I'm not sure.
Different scenarios. If it's
Yeah.
a bank robbery, depending on how many police officers are on, if there's 60 civs on and maybe 5 cops on, and you're at the bank robbery and you die, it's a 5-minute wait period until you can go back into that bank robbery.
Alright.
However, if there's 5 cops there at the bank robbery and you all die, technically you're not allowed to go back unless you get dispatched to call you in, or another civ texts you, pretty much.
After you die. Yeah, so the way that 15 minutes work, and that 15 minutes just came up in a sort of chat we were having here before. So let's say we get killed. If you get killed as a police officer in a legal illegal area, let's say heroin fields or whatever, if you get killed, you can't return at all, period, okay? So if you get killed in an illegal area, you cannot return, period, at all. Now, if you get killed in a legal area, such as, say, you respond to a call at salt mine or you get shot at salt mine, the rule used to sort of state, and with the confusion happened, where you could return after 15 minutes. But it's been revised and it was just misworded. The way it is you can't return to that area at all, as well as the same as an illegal area. But you can go back after 15 minutes once it's been cleared out. So let's say they've reported to be left the area. You have to wait 15 minutes before you can go back and sort of, say, impound your vehicle or something like that, okay? It just gives a chance for the rebels or whoever's shot you to leave the area and give them a chance to get away, okay? Now, that's the rules at this time. If they do change, we will let you know. But yeah, and with the bank robbery, if you die, at this time it is just 5 minutes. So sit there at the base, start your little timer. Trust me, the cops will pull you up if you get back there too quick. Sit in the base. Once 5 minutes is up, get your car out of the garage, drive up, and you can keep going again.
Having said that, if there is a bank robbery and there is a lot of whitelisted cops on, and there's an admin on, we're most likely going to tell you not to return as well. Just because if there's 15 cops on, it's just going to actually make the robbery impossible for the civs. So we'll kind of do that on the basis of see how many whitelisted people are on, and we'll call it as it goes. But normally it's just a 5-minute wait time.
Yeah.
Cool.
A random question as well.
Yep.
With safe zones, it says in the rules any vehicle store. Does that include a garage?
Yeah, the garage is a safe zone, yeah. Should be. So you're storing and removing vehicles out of the garage.
Copy that.
I have a quick question.
Yep.
Are ATMs regarded or going to be regarded as safe zones in the future?
I'm not sure, mate. Let me look.
It's not in the rules as a safe zone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
if
just curious because I've had a couple of, on occasion playing as a civ, I've had a couple of people just sitting at ATMs, and as soon as you get money out, they tell you to get on the ground, and it's just stupid, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I do know what you mean. But then I don't think it will, only because from, like, say, past experiences when I've been doing drugs and stuff, one of the anticipations is which ATM do I pick, and should I, say, go a further distance and worry about going to an ATM, because you do have to worry about people camping.
yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, so it might not. I don't think it'll come in, but it could be a suggestion. It's a good one.
Yep. Cheers.
All right, we'll move on. We'll come back to. We'll ask big questions before at the end here, so you can just pop up some random stuff. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, with full survey, if you do get whitelisted, with a full serve, if you see a full serve and say there's 70 people on and there's 10 slots left, and you only see 3 cops on, for example, and 2 of them are public or something, please jump on as cop. Like, common sense stuff is, like, for me, a good ratio of, if you have a full server now, which is 80, ideally 12 cops on would be good. Okay, so try to keep the whitelist cop numbers up on the server. That, don't jump on as civ. Obviously, if you've been whitelisted, you want to play the role, so jump on as cop.
I logged on a couple of days ago actually, and it was 69 people on the server, 65 for civs and 4 public cops. So we had no whitelisted or anything like that. So if you are a whitelisted cop and you see that, yeah, just jump on, because the public people don't really know what to do. So it'll help out if you can get on as whitelisted instead of civ. And that's the amount of people.
Can anyone here give me some cop training, by any chance?
Cool. All right. All right, we'll come back. Okay, so spreading out over the map is a big key feature. It's the same as your TeamSpeak. If you move locations on the map and you're going to stay there for a period of time, change TeamSpeak channels. I'll let people know where you are on the map as well, okay? And obviously we don't want everyone in Kavala when we could, have you guys spread out over the map. And someone's got echo on. Or someone's got me coming through their speakers or some shit. Yeah, so stay spread out over the map. Obviously, if you're bank robbery and stuff, most units are supposed to respond, drop petty crimes. But after that, make sure you guys go back to your original spot and spread out. Only times that wouldn't count is, say, there's 6 cops on you and there's 4 of you doing a raid, obviously. You guys are doing something quite effective.
Can I ask a quick question regarding that?
Yep.
If my dog shuts up, sorry. General suggestion with that is to, I don't know what the exact rules are, but to travel in teams, like don't just have one person on the east side. Would you suggest that? Like, or is that a rule? What's the general rule on that? Like,
yeah,
there was a trespasser in the cop bay. What would I do with him? I got him here.
It's best to jump on and even yell at your friends, people you get to know in here, and just
just let him be.
ask them to, hey, do you want to get out of Kavala and let's go do highway patrol and stuff, okay? Because you will catch civs out there, and they're not just out of Kavala, and sometimes, sounds weird, but it's honestly best to have minimal cops in Kavala and more elsewhere, because you will find when the server's full that people just love to
Can anyone possibly train me here?
Like everyone else
Since I'm new to the server?
sort of doing the real game, and everyone else in Kavala majority can be trolls. So.
Or do I just have to do my own thing?
Jumping out TeamSpeak, mate. Don't use group at the moment, please.
What's the
Can we
TeamSpeak?
have like 2 people per car as cops?
Yeah, I'd probably recommend 2 cars, and the reason for that is there's a rule with like illegally helicopters landing, and then you need 2 officers with 2 cars. So if you've got a second car, it gives you the option to go and obviously find them and all that sort of stuff. And obviously if one vehicle goes down, you can help them out with another one or something like that. So I'd still travel in 2 cars, but yeah, traveling in pairs is a good idea. And the more police cars out there, then it looks like there's more of a force as well. We'll come back around to roleplay when we sort of do the event. Firearm usage, like tasers and lethal, pretty self-explanatory. Tasers are used as the first measurement, so basically everything up until you get shot. So obviously your first thing is your mouth and your words, so you use that first. Try and roleplay as best as you can. Obviously some stuff escalates. If it does escalate, the next thing you do is raise your voice or to be more demanding, and then you start the tase. Okay. Once you've tased, if that's not an effective, been something ineffective or not situational, then you can pull out your lethal. Now the lethal is really only used for when your life is at threat or another officer's life is at threat. Okay. So basically when you get shot at, the cops rarely ever fire first. The only time they'd see fire first is someone who's looking straight at him and they're really close range. But basically you have to wait till you're shot at to make sure that you cover your ass. So that way you can shoot back without knowing that you've done the right thing. Any questions on that?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I've been told that if you see rebels with lethal weapons, it's pretty much a tase on sight. Is that true?
Still try to RP. I would definitely try to chat before you try to tase them, because sometimes rebels will negotiate with you. Sometimes like it'll work in a scenario where they'll aim at you and then you're just told to back off and stuff like that. Okay. I mean, it really depends on who you're dealing with, but I certainly would try to at least communicate first, because you don't want to breach that line of RDM. When all you said was like you could have said 2 words, and there's a big difference between RDM and just saying 2 words, and it fixes everything.
That's good.
Can I ask a question about, can you use your lethal weapon to disable a vehicle?
Yeah, so that's the other use for a good point. That's another use for a lethal weapon. So let's say this guy has been holding someone hostage. It has to be a pretty big scenario. Like if someone's speeding, you don't pull out their lethal weapon and start shooting their tires, because it's a risk of bullet. I don't know if you guys know, but bullets in this game travel through quite a lot of shit, especially through cars, and they bounce off grounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if the situation calls for it, yes. So if they've, it's a prolonged chase and they've got out and they've tried to shoot at cops but got back in, then obviously use it and try to disable a vehicle rather than the person driving it first. any other situation where you deem that no officer's lives have been at risk or anything like that, you try to use the spike strips to set them up. And it's quite a fun task when you get the spike strips to work. It's pretty cool. Alright, getting through this. Air unit correct usage. Do you want to say something, Heavy?
Let's go back to the other one. If you're dealing with a rebel and you kill him, the only thing he's going to lose is his gun and his clothes. If you arrest him, what he's going to do is he's going to lose his rebel license as well as his gun and clothes. So it's more... it's better for us to arrest them because they're going to lose more money, pretty much.
And you'll get the wanted list fee. So you'll get paid as well.
But still.
Yeah.
In the new update, aren't they removing that so they don't actually lose their licenses?
Yeah, that's with the new update. So at the moment, it's better for us to arrest them. But yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know. Are you talking about Tonic's update or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Tonic. I don't know if I think we're taking some stuff out that he's done because it's a little bit weird.
Pretty helicopter.
Cool. So air unit correct usage. Basically, the air unit is used for as an aerial recon, basically covering. It's a large map, so it's really good to have at least one air unit up, because you can just cover a huge amount of area, and you can track down people that you're looking for wanted so much quicker and stuff like that as well. Okay, and you got to use the air unit appropriately. So obviously you're not a cop car, so you don't go down and pull over every single person on the road and all that sort of stuff. You don't set up checkpoints with it, anything like that. But you can use it to drop people off, use it as recon, intelligence, all that sort of stuff. Okay. Are there any questions about that?
You can't actually land when you're in the air, when you're in an air unit, can you? When you're like raiding someone, you have to stay in the air unless you're dropping troops off.
Yeah, unless you're dropping troops off basically unless you're dropping troops off or a situation calls where like you can sort of go down and basically yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, like just think of it like in real life, like a pilot doesn't get out and start setting up checkpoints with his helicopter and stuff like that, does he? So
yeah, go.
Yep.
The chopper that's replacing the Ghost Hawk, is that SOG only, or is that
User joined your channel.
Yeah, from what I know, the chopper replacing it will be the new Green 4 helicopter. If you guys haven't played with that in the editor, I forget the name of it. But it's got a Hellcat. There you go. It's got a the co-pilot can move the thermal camera around on the front, so it's going to be for
commander seat?
Yeah, like the commander seat, and you can move the thermal camera around and have a look around. So it's going to be on the SOG only, I believe, but it's going to be armed version, so it'll be co-pilot and pilot only. And it won't be missiles in it, just the minigun, and it'll be replacing the Black Hawk. Oh, not the Black Hawk, the Ghost Hawk.
Yeah, doesn't that helicopter have 4 seats in the back? In the editor it has 4 seats in the back.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, sorry, Hellcat does have some seats in the back. Yeah, so that's what the Hellcat's used for, SOG only, and basically when an admin's on, or whoever high-ranking officer's on, he'll tell you how to use it, and for the moment the Ghost Hawk the guns will basically be on. Only the admins really have it at the moment, so they'll tell you what to do when you jump in it.
What's the punishment for people that try to break out people from the prison with a helicopter?
So the rule on here reads shit. It reads it is legal because they actually get added to the it's not illegal, it's illegal, but it's they can do it without being banned or kicked.
Okay.
And they will get added to the wanted list. The only thing that I know of that doesn't really get added to the wanted list is robberies. But things like obviously holding illegal weapons won't get added to the wanted list. But when you rob someone, say if I was to rob Canby rob me, it doesn't get added to the wanted list at the moment.
Is there a specific fine for breaking people out of jail with a helicopter though?
You'd have to check policing 101s. Might be them.
I've checked there multiple times. It's not there.
Not there? Okay, cool. Hold on, I'll just make a note of that. Actually, it gets added to the wanted list, so it'll just be off that.
No, the person in jail gets wanted, but the person flying doesn't.
Okay, I'll add that down. Hold on.
Well, wouldn't you just catch the person name that's flying and then just add the same as the add the same fine as the person that actually is wanted for escaping?
We just got to write it down there, make sure it's official and gets added to the one list.
Because that would it'd add the escape jail fine plus his already his what do you call him? God, mind blank.
His previous crimes.
Yeah, previous crimes. So you wouldn't actually know the price of it, really.
Alright, so yeah, I'll add that to Policing 101 fines. Good point. Alright, metagaming, if you guys don't know what metagaming is, it's basically like using in-game mechanics to sort of cheat, I guess. So if you use the console key next to one, obviously you can see who's flying in the air and stuff, and we know civilians do it, we know rebels do it, and all that sort of stuff. What we want the cop force to do is try to limit it to when you do it in cars and helicopters, because that way you can justify it. So if you get out and you go, they go, well, how did you know I was wanted? If you're in a helicopter, you've read their license plate. So their license plate registers back to their address, and their address registers to their name.
Unless it's stolen, but that doesn't really work. It's still kind of cheating.
And the same if you're in a helicopter, okay? So if they're in a helicopter and you're on the ground, they have every aircraft has a registration as well, which goes back to, you know, the airfield and all that sort of stuff. So if someone goes, oh, I don't know how did you know who I was, you metagame and all that sort of stuff, you can just go off the license plate or the rego, okay? But try to limit it to when you're in a car and a helicopter, so you can justify it. Cool? Yep. Alright, science police codes, pretty simple. We can link that police codes if you want. I've just linked that out of interest. We don't actually use, like, code, it's code 42 or anything, because then we'd have 100 plus codes to learn. Basically the sirens and the lights on the car, if you see if you can turn the sirens on but you can't turn the lights. Use the lights if you're just going to pull someone over just shortly and you know they're going to pull over, just for like a traffic violation or something. And then you engage the sirens when you're actually in a police chase or that you think that they can't hear you or something like that, okay? When you jump out of a car, say even if pulled over a car to the side of the road, you turn your sirens off and you leave your flashing lights on.
And as well, lock your vehicle before you leave.
Yes, please lock it. It's a slab of beer for every person who leaves their vehicle unlocked, cop vehicle. So, don't leave your vehicle unlocked.
Working in daytime?
No, it's a daytime is an armor thing. It's actually saying like it's not possible in armor for flashing sirens or some shit. Or it was in armor too, but with mods.
The lights on the boat actually do work on daytime.
The beacons on the speedboat work. They flash in daytime.
I don't. Well, if you notice those signs on those cars aren't obviously there, and same with the Hunter, they were actually added in separately. So I have no idea about the modding side of scripting side of that. So that's if you have questions or you know how to do it, chuck that forward.
Yeah, what is it?
Butch and Nem and Corey and stuff. They chuck all that backlog sort of stuff. I know as much about you guys.
Oh yeah, by the way, there's a lot of wanted stuff. When people become on the one list, there's a lot. Well, we've already discussed that some of the things on the list doesn't get added to the one list, but also some of the stuff that does happen on the one list, kind of when you give them a ticket, should remove them. Like when the lock picking, it should remove. There's a
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. So when you arrest someone, if you ticket them and they pay the fine, it actually doesn't remove them off the wanted list. So what you have to do is just jump in the group channel and just say, can I get blah 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 removed off the wanted list to pay fine, and then one of the guys up here, we can pardon them off that. If they are in jail, they will get removed, but it's after their jail time, so don't stress too much. Once they complete their jail time, they will be removed off the wanted list. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Uniform, pretty simple. Uniform, the gun, all your equipment is your responsibility. Obviously, if you die and stuff, that's fine. But if you decide to put your gun on the ground here, then go get donuts from over there, and you lose that gun, then you're going to get into trouble, right? So all your shit's your responsibility. These guns in the civ hands can do a bit of damage. Obviously, your uniform can also do a bit of damage if civilians get into it and people start believing it. Do you want to take over the next couple, Kirby?
I'm just telling stuff out of your backpack.
Okay, cool.
Okay. The next one's when to impound and when not to impound in operation. So if you're in a raid on the drug area and you've still got rebels shooting at you, you can't just get out and impound your vehicle or your friend's vehicle if they die. You've got to leave all the vehicles there until the operation is completed. Same goes with non-illegal areas. So if you're just having a shootout up north and you die, you can't just bring another car up there straight after you die and impound your own vehicle because you don't want to lose $8 grand. You need to give the option to the rebels to steal your vehicle or lockpick it and take it away, whatnot.
Yeah, it's risk versus reward. So the closer you decide to get, if you decide to take in your big expensive hunter, but you get shot out of it unlocked, then it's fair game for them to come in and take it.
Same goes with the bank robbery. I mean, I've done it before, but you land a Ghost Hawk on the island and impound it straight away because you don't want them to steal it. You can't really do that in real life, so just leave it there until the operation's cleaned up, or you've won, or they've won, and they've moved on. And then you can go and impound them. Also, when we're not in operation, there's going to be a lot of ATVs and off-roaders around that just have broken wheels. People have left them there. Go up and impound them because it really, really drops the FPS of the server if there's just vehicles everywhere littered throughout. But if you're driving through Kavala and you see like an ATV parked, kind of on the curb, just leave it for a little bit because someone might just be in a building or might have just run off somewhere. But yeah, if you go back 20 minutes later and it's still there, definitely impound it because it just drops the FPS of the server.
An option you have is when you actually search vehicle, all it does is search the names of the owners, so you don't actually search into the trunks, you're not actually doing anything illegal. So if I was one to go up and say, oh fuck this ATV, it just looks like a senior, search the name of the owner, and if they're if you can just text them and just say, oh you're coming back for your ATV, and they'll just let you know. If they don't let you know, then give it a couple, like 1 more minute and then impound it, I guess. Okay, so just try to get on contact with them. We're almost through this part 1, guys. Next part is...
Yeah, what's up, man?
Spike strips. Okay, so when you lay a spike strip, I don't know if you guys can see, I'll pull it out one now.
Well, careful, you're going to kill us if you move that.
Kill him.
Cool. Alright, you guys see this?
Yep.
Cool. So obviously this is what happens, you access it through your Y menu. So as you're putting it down, let's say this is a road here. Place it obviously in the middle of the road, or you can use them at checkpoints. You can use them in the middle of the road and to the left and right, far side, so you block off the entrance. And when you place it, it flattens out like that, and you can barely see it, so the camera runs over it. His wheels are gone. And it works at high speed, and it can do some damage if you leave it in the wrong spot, like if you decide to do it.
Yeah.
So if you decide to place it down, not at a checkpoint and stuff, you need to make sure you remember where you put it, and that you stop innocent civilians driving over it, or else you're going to be up for big repair bills. So, and then once it's done, I think because you hit it, it's gone. But if they didn't run over it, you can pick it up again, so make sure you pick it up and it'll go back into your inventory. So again, yeah, just don't leave spike strips lying around all over the map. Only use them when you got them, they're about $2,500, so they're pretty expensive, so you don't want to leave them lying around. And the best way to put spike strips is coordinate with air. They'll tell you if a car's heading down a highway, and you can just head down the way they're heading and just sit there and wait for them. And when you use a spike strip, the car probably goes, well, it depends what speed they're going, but at least 100 meters up the road from when they actually stop. So make sure you're not standing right at the spike strip, stand 100 meters up the road, and you'll almost be at their door when they stop. Next thing is loitering in towns. Basically in Kavala, we don't want cops just sitting here, just doing nothing, waiting for something to happen. Get out there and patrol and do the outskirts of Kavala and visit the apple field and all that stuff. If you're in Kavala, like patrol channel, you're just doing Kavala, that's fine. But don't just be standing in one spot doing nothing, okay, unless you're there for a reason. Civilians condoning to a search. If you have no reason, let's say it's a checkpoint, and you're just searching for licenses and registration and that sort of stuff. If a civilian comes up to you, cool, checking for his license and all that, and then you have to ask if you can search his car. You can search his car if it's his owner, but you can't search the trunk. You can't search the contents of his car. Okay. So you got to ask him, hey, do you condone to a search to your car? Tell him to say yes or no. If he says yes, cool, search the trunk. There's probably nothing in there. If he says no, then there's obviously probably something in there, but you have to let him go. Maybe you can set something up with the other police officers to, maybe you can go through a stop sign or something.
Yeah, he doesn't want to show the police his rubber dildos, like, that would be embarrassing.
That's it. So yeah, just
To actually search.
common sense stuff. So plausible reason is if he's been suspicious, but if you're like example at a checkpoint, someone's just driving from point A to point B and they haven't done anything bad, that's not plausible reason. So something like where they're acting really suspicious, or they drove off road really weird to try to avoid the checkpoint, or they're on the wanted list. You can search their vehicle, stuff like that.
So at any other point, not just a roadblock, you can search them and also their vehicle, but not the trunk.
You can't search the person because again that would require a pat down. You can ask if they condone to a pat down or a search of the body.
All right.
So it's the same. Trunk and actually searching the person, it works the same way. Think of it as the same thing.
You've got to search the person to find out the driver's license. Yeah.
No, but actually, hold on.
It's in the rules. It says you can search them. You can restrain them to search them.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot their contents comes up. Yeah, sorry, their contents does come up in that same page.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fine.
Release me.
License only. So
Yeah, I think a truck's coming up.
That's right. So yeah, just make sure. Yeah, you can search them, but I guess you can't really point out any illegal items unless they condone to a search or they've done something really suspicious. Because ideally, that illegal items content should be on like another part. Because all you're searching them for is say a driving license or something.
It'll actually automatically confiscate drugs and things. It's just the way the script works.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so if they have drugs and you search them and they'll be like, oh, you collected $53,000 worth of cocaine. It's the same when you search a trunk of a car.
And then you just apologize and pretend that happened.
Yeah. What's up here? Okay, police chases that lead into an illegal area. So let's say you start at Salt Mine, you start this police chase, and he ends up at Rebel Outpost. The rules state that you did start the chase for quite a period of obviously outside the illegal area, and the rule states that you just have to call for backup, okay, or call for additional units to come to that illegal area. It doesn't state that you're not allowed to enter that area as a raid. So it's not. I know it says it's a safe zone, but they can't just do that because every single police chase would lead to a illegal area, and then everyone we'd have to be stuck getting 4 officers there and all that sort of stuff. Okay. So if a police chase is quite a fair distance away from the legal area and it goes straight in there and it leads to the legal area, it's not a safe zone for them to sit there and point their arse at you. All you have to do is get on TeamSpeak or group channel and say, I need backup here. And if they're only a short distance, obviously wait for them, but if not, then you can still go in by yourself. Just don't arrest anyone else there in the illegal area. Make sense?
Yep.
I'm just going to add as well, not to do with that really, but if you're getting, if a rebel comes up to you and there's 3 rebels and you're the only cop, don't shoot them because you're surrounded, so most likely you're just going to have to comply with them. And do RP it out. I got asked the other day to drop all my radios and all my gear, so I just dropped everything off myself. And people were asking me in TeamSpeak what I was, do I need help? But I didn't give them anything because I've told them to drop my radios. So try and RP it out. Don't give, even if you're on TS, don't tell the people because you've been asked to drop your radio. RP it. Makes the game more fun for you and the Civ, the rebels.
Yeah, just the only thing I might say there is make sure like an admin doesn't kick you off TeamSpeak or something. Say you think you're FK, just say radio's gone, can't talk. And that's it, and that's what you need to say.
Well, you can talk, but don't talk about anything about what's going on. Just be like, yeah, sorry, I've just lost all my radios.
And just so everyone knows, if I speak in group chat, like if I speak now, you guys will be able to hear me in direct.
Speaking in police chat,
audio's gone anyway.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so if you guys, whatever you say of a group chat, you civilians, or it works the same as direct communication, so you got to be obviously careful of what you say. So if they say, oh, I've taken your radio, but then you get on the group chat, you've obviously broken up because I can hear what you're saying as well.
And also vehicle chat.
And also vehicle chat, yeah. We went over that. SOG procedures are basically, you don't have to be a high listed, you have to be whitelisted, but you don't have to be a high ranking admin to be part of the SOG team. Basically, if one of the admin guys or highest ranking officer says, all right, all other police procedures have failed, we need to call in SOG, he'll just pick a small team of the SOG guys that come in, and you guys will act as...
SOG is basically SWAT if no one knows.
Yeah, sorry.
Just like using the hunter or the ghost hawk, whatnot.
It's part 1 complete, and it's 7 o'clock, so we're right on time. So we're going to do a quick little...
User joined your channel.
I don't know, what are your scenarios? That might look a bit gay, but they're going to be a quick 5-10 minutes.
I don't have in-game sound, so we're going to have to do it through TeamSpeak.
Okay.
In-game sound.
Did someone really just rob someone else for $1?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget to
Don't
drop
have one.
it down to about 50%, everyone.
Hold on.
Backpack?
Yeah, could we get someone to bring a lot of food and water, just in case?
I've got some food and water with me.
Obviously, guys, dropping stuff for civilians while this is illegal, but we're just doing this for demonstration purposes.
Just drop it. Where is it?
No, I'm dropping now. I didn't...
The items, you just put it through backpacks.
It's in your backpack there.
Oh, that's illegal.
Alright, so let's say we're going at the moment we're gonna say we're in city limits, okay? And I'm just sitting here chatting with my car and shit.
Caitlin.
Oh, you can't hear in game, can you?
Nope.
Excuse me, Canby. There. Sorry.
Yes,
Can I get you to turn away from me for a second? I'm gonna get you to put that. You're in city limits. I'm gonna get you to put that gun in your backpack, please. Just so you're aware, so you make sure that you are. All guns within city limits have to be inside backpacks.
We got Kosh dickheads talking in his side chat. He's spamming side chat. Who's the captain of Kosh? Captain Kosh.
Righto, I got it. Name, can we get Captain Kosh quick kicked? Name, can you hear me? Oh, stand by.
Yeah,
he's gone. Cool.
He's up there, is he?
Why not let her have a gun out?
Nah, he's spamming civilian chat.
Copy that. About to kick him.
Okay, you need to turn away from me, Canby. Turn the gun away from me. Put it in your backpack. You're within city limits. You need to put your gun in your backpack. Once you're outside, you can have it, as long as it's lowered.
Oh, sorry, officer.
Cool. Alright, so that's how you defuse that situation real quick. So someone inside city limits with a gun, they might not know or they're about to do something. So you ask them to obviously turn away from you first. You've got to protect yourself and other officers. If they don't turn away from you, then you start to raise your gun, okay, because shit's about to escalate. Once you've raised your gun, they'll start getting the idea, okay? They'll either start raising theirs. If they raise theirs, then you're free to tase. But if they keep it lowered, then they're obviously just trying to heal or something, okay? So just getting the point away from you, put them in their backpack and that. We won't run through it, but the other scenario is they're out of town limits. If they're out of town limits, that's fine. They can have their gun out, but it just has to be lowered, okay? Obviously you don't want a gun pointing at your face, and it obviously has to be a legal weapon.
If they come up to you with it pointed at you, don't tase them straight away, just tell them to try and lower it. If they don't lower it, then you can...
Yeah, an example the other day is we just got a guy who killed about 8 officers. We were taking him back to police HQ to put him in jail, and a group of guys rocked up in a car and rocked out with guns. And what they were doing is they're actually handing in the gun from the scene. But we drove off with the cops and we jumped out and we stood behind our vehicles before we even, and we started talking and we said, drop your car and we don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And he said, oh, no, we're just handing the vehicle. So if you just tase him straight away, obviously it makes you look bad and it starts complaints and fights and stuff when all he was doing was handing in the gun. Okay, but obviously, like, if you ask him to turn around, he doesn't, and he raises his gun, you can raise yours. You don't need stuff to take 10 minutes to escalate. So if you ask him to lower his gun and turn away from you and he doesn't, that's when you can raise your gun and, you know, get ready. Alright, we'll go next. Whoa! Jump off the vehicle, sir.
Oh,
Jump off the vehicle.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Are you alright?
oh, my head. Oh,
Are you alright, sir? You've been in a vehicle collision. Are you drunk?
Oh,
He's just waiting for a mate.
oh, I can't stand up. Oh,
Do you know why you crashed your vehicle today?
hello?
Oh, I'm gonna get a medical officer over here.
Oh,
Is this your vehicle?
yeah, it's my vehicle.
It's your vehicle. Have you got a driver's license? It doesn't look like it.
Oh, I left my wallet at the pub.
Alright, I'm just gonna search your vehicle just to make sure it's yours. Okay, you just stay there.
Oh,
Okay, you are the driver of this vehicle. Do you mind if I search you for your car license? Stop.
oh, what's going on?
I'm just gonna restrain you, Cam, until the medical officers get here.
Oh, oh, I can't see. What happened?
Alright, you do have a car license.
Oh, where am
You've
I?
obviously been in a collision today. Do you need your car repaired or are you a first aid?
Oh, I've just been at the pub, mate. I'm trying to get home.
Alright, well what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unrestrain you. You can jump out now. If you're unsure, just press V. There you go. Okay, well your vehicle's good to go and you're all good, so just jump on your vehicle, just drive slower this time.
But I'm drunk, sir. I've just been at the pub.
Okay. Cool, so that's, that sounds kind of gay. It's something like you don't need to tase every single person you see, okay? Just a crash situation. You'll see Sivs crash the whole time and standing around car wrecks and stuff. So there's lots of Americans love to RP, like they just live off that shit. So just stuff like they'll act like they're drunk and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so just go along with it. It can be fun sometimes. I pull Nem over. Yeah, fun. I pulled over Nem once and Corey was in the car and he ran over to me and said Corey was having a baby. So sometimes you just roll with it. And you just escort him to the hospital or some crap like that, okay? Even if he's been speeding and if he jumps out and RPs like that, you just go with it, okay?
Question, escort rules. Can you refuse someone an escort? And when do you have to escort people to drug fields?
In terms of escorting, like, so the only escort I've ever really come across is when you arrest someone and you want to get them safely back to jail, is you need to escort the car who's got the arrestee in it. So you get two or three cars to go back to jail, make sure that you don't get shot on the way or anything like that. If that's what you're sort of talking about.
Yeah, but also I've had people like request an escort if there's been rebel activity near like the Salt.
Oh, okay.
So they ask if we can just escort them while there's rebel activity in the area.
User left
So
your
like
channel.
a police car. You escort
Yeah. I've never experienced it myself. No one's ever asked me. But if you're like obviously not busy and cops don't need you elsewhere, I mean, stuff like that will hop up all the time. We probably do as a more police force, and that's what we're trying to increase it. More involve ourselves in the RP stuff more in terms of like hostage situations and stuff like that. The only thing is we're spread thin over a long area, so we're doing a lot of stuff to doesn't limits us to how much RP stuff we can actually go to. But yeah, stuff like that. If you've got nothing else to do and they want an escort to a legal area, something like salt mines or something like that, just go do it. I mean,
Yeah.
if that's what you want to do, I mean, it's your game. Remember, it's just a game you're playing, but if that's what you want to do, you can go do it.
For example, today I actually did an escort. Actually, two guys who were driving the truck around, and they actually forgotten most of the details, but they actually approached us because we noticed there was a truck going along the highway with no lights on, so we pulled them over and asked them why you didn't have your lights on, and it's like, and his answer was he's scared for his life. Apparently, him and his mate are being chased by J17's rebel team, and they were chasing him down because he reported him. And now he's looking for him, so we just told him, yeah, we'll put your lights on and we'll escort you to a safe area. So we escorted him to the copper mines where it was, and until he was safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's not against, it's not like nothing's making you go while you're in the police force and you have to go escort someone. But again, it's your game, and if that's what you want to go do with it, and obviously you're not needed anywhere else, then stuff like that you can go do, and you feel free to, but there's no laws coming out, and that obviously, if they want to give you a bit of food or water, or let's say some dollars after that, that's fine. And just so everyone knows, the police force earns shit all money, like it's none. And the reason it is kind of good because it gets you to play Civ, probably about once a week if you jump on every couple of days, to go get money. So. But yeah, situations like that do arise, like random stuff where people ask you to do stuff you haven't incurred before. Just if you've got time and you want to do it, then do it.
About that money thing, I've been transferred 70,000 and 20,000 a few days ago, and I have no idea where it came from. I'm guessing it came from like a duplicated money thing.
If it hasn't come from someone who's hacking, then it doesn't concern us. As long as they've earned it fairly, then they can do whatever they want with their money. But if it's someone hacking, then you probably report it.
I have an idea how that's happening. Is if you notice in the ATM, people are pressing transfer instead of like deposit or withdraw, because if you haven't noticed, the cops show up on the list first in the ATM.
Yeah, that would explain it.
Transfer thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, free cash.
Yeah, I've had a couple people transfer money to me, and I've just transferred back to them.
Cool. All right, we'll just go through two more quick scenarios.
Which are?
Alright, we're just going to use this scenario as a raid, okay? Let's just pretend that we've just come into raid, I've just arrested Canby.
Hang on, wait.
Oh, sorry.
Alright, let's pretend we're at the raid. I'm at the poppy field or something. Jager's pulled up in his car, but there's another 3 officers 200 metres away, and they're just creating a perimeter. Alright, so you've got the 4 officers, you've got the 2 police vehicles, everything's fine, and I'm at the poppy fields.
Hey, Canby, what are you doing here, mate? We're just arresting you, let me just clear the area. I'll get back to you in a sec. Alright.
What are you doing? What are you doing here?
We just conducted a raid on this area. It's been
You've only got one police officer. You've only got one police officer and 1 car. The rules
well, we actually have 3, mate. We actually have 3. Well,
I don't
4.
see them.
There's
the
1 in
rules
the
say
air.
you need to have 4 police officers and 2 vehicles here.
Well, here's one of my police vehicles here. We've got a 1 ute, and we've just got 2 vehicles on
where
the perimeter.
Where are the other 3 guys?
They're just on the perimeter of the field, so there actually is 4 officers here.
I don't see them. It says you need 4 officers and 2 police vehicles. I don't see them.
Look, the officers are on location at the moment, and there is a sufficient amount of the police force to restrain you guys.
Yeah, at this point, if they keep on, well, if they keep on going with breaking RP and just, just because they can't see them, it doesn't mean they're not there. But yeah, if they keep on just blabbing on about rules and rules and rules, all you've got to do is just maintain, what Jaeger did. And just say that, we've got 3 officers up there. Don't break out of RP, alright? Because if you break out of RP, you're just as bad as them.
Yeah, and as soon as you break out of RP, guys, it turns into, like, an actual fight. It's honestly, sometimes it's best to do it, arrest them, ticket them. They'll end up listening to you, and then they'll probably jump up to your TeamSpeak, what used to happen. And then you can just be like, look, this is literally, there was one cop over there, one cop over there, and like everyone can vouch for you in the TeamSpeak because there'll be 4 of you talking at the same time, okay? But just try to keep the RP. And it's the same with trolls, okay? So if someone's trolling, everyone knows what trolling is, we don't need to explain it, but if someone's trolling, try to RP to a certain extent. If they troll too much, the best way to deal with it, instead of just fining them, if they get to that point, you just arrest them and you send them in jail for 10 minutes, okay? If they come back, it's just public nuisancy. So just charge them under public nuisancy, tell them to sober up, all that sort of stuff. So still RP. If they come back after 10 minutes and do it again, that's when you let the admins know, okay? So you try to deal with everything yourself and try to RP. And the best way to do is just being a public nuisance, and you just put them in jail and make sure you let them know what they're doing so the troll doesn't fucking send us admin messages. And then if they come back and they're still doing it, then it becomes our problem.
Always tell them before you arrest them as well. Once you're at the jail and you've unescorted them and you're about to send them to jail, just make sure you tell them again what they're putting in jail for as well.
Jaeger?
Yes.
With the public nuisance fines, what state would we be going on?
It's just, it's on a judge per person basis, man. It's on, like, everyone, you know when someone's been a troll enough that they start to piss you off and not listening.
There's no visible line. It's what you personally think is too much.
Right, because I done that actually earlier in Kavala at the car shop, but I was using the Victorian rules, which states $100 per fine, and it actually stacked up because it was being that much of a troll to 1,000 something.
Yeah, look, with trolls, just off experience, money doesn't matter to the trolls. Like, you've $100, whatever. If you send them to jail 10 minutes, they've got nothing to do for 10 minutes, alright? So they're probably not going to do it again. If they do it again, then they're just being absolute fuckheads. But yeah, it's on what you think is who's been a troll. And it gets to the point where you start being arrogant. It's the same with abusive. Like, if I go, hey, fuck the police and all that sort of stuff, that's fine. But if someone starts, really cursing at you and actually, like, you can tell, like, when someone's tone of voice, when they start actually being, fuckhead, then, send them to jail. And then again, if they start coming back and doing it again, then it becomes our problem.
Fuck that pawpaw.
Yeah, fuck the pawpaw.
Paper.
Alright, just before...
Sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
illegal to say to the police. Australian law says it's not illegal, but does...
Oh, they can say it, but if you tell them to shut up, like, if they keep repetitively saying it, and you just like, okay, enough.
Who needs water?
Yeah, I think we all do. I'm about to die as well.
Yeah, I'm dehydrated.
Okay, cool. We're actually almost there because we're just going to do pull up people into questioning in a sec anyway. Just any more questions before we get going about either police cars, how to use the police menu, police shop, or any other things that you guys can think of, or anything you want to run through?
Well, you just let them go now, and they can talk while they're driving, or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they're going to die, and their vehicle's going to get left here. You can impound them, I guess.
Yeah, true. Cool. Anything too serious before we get going? Alright, awesome. No one leave this team. Oh, sorry, you can have a sec. It's going a sec. No one leave this TeamSpeak. I want to take a photo of it, and I'll just mark sure that any applications that come through under these names, I'll just say you attended the training. It'll get you a pretty big thumbs up. Those who have pass this next part, you guys will be whitelisted tonight if you're on the pending list, and if your whitelisting application is in and you've put your references down, we'll also get you through tonight. If you haven't put your references down, go through, edit your list. You can put your references down if you're in this interview right now. You can put this down as Jaeger and Canby. Okay.
Yeah, I've already got 2 down, but I...
Oh, have you got 2 down? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put down some more, to solid my chance.
Yeah, just edit the post too, guys. Don't remake another post. It fucking tilts me. So just just go ahead and do that in a second. I'm just going to pull you guys into basically groups of 3. We'll just ask 10 questions.
I have a couple of questions about the fining.
Yep.
Let's say if you're trying to fine someone for not having their headlights on, and they say they're broken, what do you do?
But you can try to RP. You can tell them to unlock the car and test them yourself, and if it works, then charge them. If they don't want to say so a lot of the shots just made off the top of my head, like I just made that up then. Like if they don't want to unlock the car, then you can just be like, well, why are you acting suspicious? Do you want me to search your car? And then like, well, then if you're not going to let me search your car, then it's unroadworthy. I'm the police force, and you're going to get charged or you're under arrest or whatever. Okay. So you can do it that way. But yeah, if they tell them it's not working, you just be like, well, just unlock it. I'll just have a roadworthy check.
And if it doesn't actually truly
User
work,
joined
you
your
could just
channel.
let them go and tell them to bring it to repair it as soon as possible.
Yeah, let them go. Tell them to repair it. That's all. You can go off and say it's unroadworthy. It's up to you. I mean, it's not what you do isn't like obviously vital. Like there's not right or wrong way. You could be a hard cop and say no, it's not roadworthy, or you could be a good cop and just let them go. Up to you.
People are gonna start dying.
Yeah. Alright, guys, go get water and stuff.
I can't hear anything. Okay.
15 minutes for tea.
Yeah, cool. Thanks guys for attending. Again, update your whitelist application. Say that we're your references if you're here. No one leave this team channel for 2 seconds. I gotta get this print screeners.
Someone left.
No, it was Jim Bobs.
Who needs water while they're here? I've got like 10 on me.
I
already
need one.
behind her.
Yeah, I need
Apex,
one.
I already gave you one.
Another one.
Can you give Skylord one?
I actually didn't get one, by the way.
And could I get somebody to edit my
Come to Boydie
application?
if you need water.
Cammy down on there for me.
To who?
I
Oh,
need
Boydie,
somebody
could I
to
get
edit
one?
my application.
Don't you know your password? Can you do it yourself? No? Yes? No?
Thanks.
Am I taking it from you or?
I just gave it to you.
Who do I have to go to?
Skylord, I'm giving you one now.
Oh, thanks.
Cool guys, drive out of here and drive safe.